Alright, welcome back. In this video I'm going to continue advanced modeling inside of Onshape. I'm going to click Create, Document. I'm just labeling it 2, doesn't matter what you save it as. Before I begin, I'm going to switch my units to millimeters. On the top left here I've got these 3 lines. It says workspace units, switching inch to millimeters. I'm going to begin by clicking New Sketch on my front. Doesn't matter which one you start with. I generally like to start with my front. On the left hand side here it says top, front, right. I like to turn these 3 eyes off. And I'm ready to begin drawing. There's many different ways of doing this. I'm going to do it by creating a rectangle first. So clicking on rectangle off my center point. This bottom number, my width, is 56. My height is 24. I'm going to zoom in, hit escape, and just drag these dimensions off. I have 2 8mm circles. I am going to use the center point to my advantage. I know that this circle is lined up directly in the center, so if I start off at that center and kind of drag to the right, I know that I'm beginning on my center. 8mm. Same thing on this side. But as we know, every circle needs 3 dimensions. I have my diameter there. I'm going to click on dimension and go from my bottom to my center, and just be sure that's 12. Same thing here, bottom to center. Again, be sure it's 12. It should be if you use that center point. Moving from my left to my center is 10. Left to center, 10. You'll notice that is now black. That's constrained. Right to center is also 10. Right? I'm going to hit Finish Sketch. I like to do my extrusions from the isometric view. I'm going to extrude. My width here is 20. Alright, so we have 2 more steps. I need to create these chamfers as well as these cutouts. I'm going to do the chamfers first. Chamfer. Inside a chamfer I have 3 different options. Right, I can go an equal distance, I can go 2 different distances, or I can go a distance and an angle. In this case I can see that I have 6 and 6. So I'm going to switch this to the top to say equal distance. Switch my distance to a 6. And I'm going to click on, looks like all 4 corners. And hit my green check. Right, next up I'm going to create these cutouts. The cutouts are on top, so I'm going to do a new sketch on top. Again, I like to adjust my object to where the extrusion is going to be. I'm going to use a rectangle, and I'm actually going to make it oversized on both sides, right, extending out past my object. Alright, so I've got the rectangles made. If I look at my blueprint here, from the back side to this inside edge is 4. So I'm clicking on dimension, the back side to this edge is 4. Back side to this edge is 4. You'll notice my object reduced in size. Anything that is blue is still modifiable, right? If I click on here and drag, I can readjust it. I then have a dimension in here that is 12. And a dimension from that chamfer to the back end is 10. So here's my chamfer, here's my back end, that's 10. Here's my chamfer, here's that back end, and that's 10 as well. I hit my Finish Sketch. Again, I like to do my extrusions from that isometric view. Click on Extrude, make sure I click on both of them. And rather than adding material, I want to switch it to remove so that it goes all the way through, and hit my green check. And there is more advanced modeling, part number 2. Thank you.